Hi everyone, I just started doing my kitchen backsplash, and as you can see I'm almost halfway done. So I decided to make this video to show you guys how I'm doing it. So this is about 30 square feet space. We've selected this marble backsplash with small pieces, square pieces. It's easier to install. I don't need a tile cutter or wet saw, and we really like the design. There's glass, some pieces with steel that are covered right now, and then most of it is marble. The tools I'm using so far, I've not had to use a tile cutter, so I've been using a utility knife, a measuring tape, a putty knife, V-notch trowel, masking tape to cover spaces that you don't want splattered, and then just a simple level. You also may need pieces of wood to knock the tiles into place. So before I went to buy the tile, you need to measure the area. It's pretty easy. So before you go to buy the tile, you have to do some measurements, of course. So the way you do it is you take the width of the area and the length of the area, you multiply them, you'll get the square footage. If you have different sized areas like this one, you would break this down into three. Like this would be one rectangle, and then this would be a second rectangle, and then this would be a fourth rectangle, a third rectangle rather. And you would measure the areas of each of these boxes and then add them up. So mine was about 26 square feet. You generally want 10% extra, and I just rounded it off to 30 square feet. To install the tile, I'm using a tile glue, tile adhesive. This is Acryl Pro from Home Depot. I'm gonna use a non-sanded grout because the gap between the pieces is small. You can use a sanded grout if it's larger. Both of these are from Home Depot. I'm gonna need a sealer as well because this is a marble backsplash, so generally you need a sealer. So this is from Lowe's. You also may need tile spacers. I just used barbecue sticks just as a hack, but I mean my tiles were pretty small and they were evenly spaced, so I didn't use them. The glue is sets pretty quick, so you don't need a spacer between tiles if you're used to it. This is my first time, so it's taking me this is my day number 3. I'm taking it slow, 4 to 5 tiles a day. Behind the oven, it's best to move it out, and then you'll need some kind of support at the end, so you can use a piece of wood. It's also a good idea if you have a backsplash like this to basically go all the way down here so that it looks like it's covering the whole wall and not ending here when somebody looks from the side. So I'm planning to do that. Normally people would tell you to start from the center and take it to the edges, but I started from the edge because I didn't want a half tile ending up here at the edge. So I started from here. Everything has lined up nicely. I haven't had to use the tile cutter or wet saw or anything. As you can see, this is a pretty good fit. My tiles have ended nicely on the edge as well. You can see they've lined up pretty nicely. I'm pretty happy so far. One side remaining. Each of these tiles is a square feet. So I'm basically these are 3 tiles, and then I'll have to put some pieces on top of these. So I'm just going to start this side. I'll keep you guys updated with progress. So I've prepared the work area and I wanted to show you how I'm going to start tiling up. Before you tile up, you want to make sure the wall doesn't have a glossy paint on it, otherwise the glue won't stick. So what we did was we took off the glossy paint. It was pretty easy, it was peeling off, so we just took it off. You can either sand it really well so that you take the gloss off. There's also deglossers available that you can paint on. We just thought it was easier to strip off the paint that was peeling off pretty easily. So once you're done with that, you can sand off the remaining paint, and then you can tape the area around this so that the glue doesn't stick to your backsplash. The backsplash that came with the countertop, I mean. Next up, you're going to put the tiles next to where they're going to be stalled, just to basically eyeball it, and then any adjustments that need to be made. For example, these power outlets, you need to pull these out. You can turn off the circuit breaker if you're not comfortable working with them. You can pull them out and then place the tile on top of it and make a cut around the area that it needs to fit in. So that's what I did here, and while I'm installing it, I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna prepare the tile beforehand, and then I'm just gonna start putting the adhesive on the wall right now. You want to work in an area not more than 3 feet by 3 feet, because otherwise the adhesive is gonna dry off. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start installing, and I'm gonna show you once I put the glue on and how I'm going to push that in. But it's pretty straightforward. You just slap this on, and then you use the V-notch trowel I showed you to take off the excess. Yep, that's it. Okay, so I'm almost done with the job. I forgot to record how to apply the glue, so I thought I would do it on the last few pieces. So what you do is you can just take there's no real technique here. You just take some glue on your putty knife, or you could use the trowel. I don't have much space, so I'm going to use the putty knife here. So I'm gonna plaster that on here like this. Just paste it like butter, and then you just, it's actually, yeah, it's called buttering. If you do it on the tile, it's called buttering the tile. So you will apply adhesive on all the area here. I've got some left here, so I'm going to finish that up, and then you'll use the trowel to use the notches to remove the excess. As you can see, I've got a pretty smooth layer of adhesive here. So now I'm going to use the notches on the trowel to remove the excess. So you just place the trowel like this, and then you make smooth, you remove the excess like this. Not much came off. That means I didn't apply a thick layer, which is actually good. Yeah, so now you can go ahead and attach the tile. What I like to do is I turn the tile around, and then I apply a layer of adhesive on there at the back, because when I initially installed the tile, there was not much adhesive on the wall, so the edges did not stick well enough. So I decided to use this, and it worked out pretty well. If you do it too much, then you're going to see glue come out of the gaps within the tile. You can see some of those pieces of glue that they're sticking out, and that's fine. I think it's going to be covered by the grout. And yeah, I'll cover the corners and then apply the tile, press it against the wall, line them up. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna continue doing that. Once I'm finished, I'm gonna leave it for the day and come back to it. The last thing I want to do is seal because this is a marble, natural stone marble mosaic. I'm gonna use a sealer before I grout it. I don't want the stain from the grout to affect the tile.